Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Connected, Seamless Integration with CATIA V5. My name is Manuel, and I will be your host today. This is the second webinar in our five-part series focused on enhancing engineering workflows. In today's session, we will explore how CATIA V5 integrates with the 3D Experience platform to improve collaboration, streamline data sharing, and boost project visibility. If you have any questions through the session, feel free to drop them in the Q&A section and we will address them at the end. Now, I am pleased to introduce our speaker, Nick Lewis. Nick is an application engineer here at Bias 3D. He holds a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering from Texas Tech University, earned in 2012. He has over 10 years in aerospace and defense manufacturing, specializing in subtractive manufacturing and NC machining. He has also worked for both OEMs as well as several Tier 1 suppliers in industry. Nick, we're very excited to have you with us today. The floor is yours.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. And thank you everyone for attending. This is the second webinar in our series, um, Get Connected. And we will be starting with, um, initially just a quick recap of the last webinar in case you missed it. And then we'll begin talking about the challenges of working without 3D experience. A lot of companies rely on CATIA V5 as a powerful design tool, but managing that data can vary greatly. And using an outside or unconnected platform can create major inefficiencies. You run the risk of duplicate files, very poor traceability, which leads to poor collaboration between colleagues. Um, but the good news is CATIA V5 with 3D Experience Cloud can solve these challenges and optimize your workflow. Um, and we'll be diving into more detail into that um, right now. So last time we talked about the future of PLM being on the cloud, whether it's as a software as a service or an infrastructure as a service kind of model where you will pay a fee and someone else will host the software for you. The key challenges of a non-cloud traditional setup, again, data silos. You're keeping your files local to your desktop. Someone else might be keeping their files local to their desktop. And that can lead to a lot of issues with version control and collaboration because multiple engineers could be working with multiple data sets, and you might not find that out until it's too late. There's also the IT and maintenance overhead. So if you're maintaining a local on-premise solution, and even including CATIA V5, you've got to maintain your license server, um, and issues with that, your own network, your own infrastructure, and your own PCs as well. Whereas working, with a cloud solution, all those elements, licensing, infrastructure are maintained for you. This allows more time to focus on real-time collaboration, and 3D Experience Cloud in particular will eliminate those data silos. You'll have a single source of truth, a single repository for all your data, and even multiple engineers can work with the same data set simultaneously. So there's never any question of, am I working with the latest, most up-to-date data? That will always be the case. Um, it's secure and much easier to scale if you need, More servers, you pay for more servers from the infrastructure provider. If you need more licensing, you get those. They're available immediately. There's no scaling of a local infrastructure that's necessary. And all of this works together to allow you to focus on engineering and innovation rather than issues. So again, all the issues that we just talked about here, collaboration can be slow, version control can be painful, and there's a much higher risk of um, data not being up to date, multiple data sets getting passed around. Um, Another factor is there's no working in silos and in a conventional on-premise format. There's no real-time insight into the ongoing projects. It's hard for management to track progress or track the status of things, whereas 3D experience on the cloud gives everybody in the system full visibility to what's going on. Um, so again, the benefits here: single source of truth, seamless collaboration, end-to-end digital continuity. You don't have multiple versions of these files running around, and the scalability is paramount. As your company grows, your solution grows with. So let's talk about how we implement this and how we begin this journey of moving from solely CATIA V5 to CATIA V5 with 3D Experience Cloud. It's a journey. It is not just an overnight shift. Several companies are already heavily invested in CATIA V5, and it's the transition can seem daunting, but it doesn't have to be. So we've broken this down into a step-by-step approach to ease ourselves into this solution transformation, rather than proverbially flipping the switch or ripping the band-aid off. Um, so the first step in this journey is what we call get connected. So that is to connect the CATIA V5 to the 3D Experience platform. This will allow you to start benefiting immediately from collaborative design, data management, and version control, without any disruption to any of the other workflows that might already be in place. And then as you become more comfortable working with 3D Experience, we can then begin to bring on more powerful tools for design, more powerful tools for simulation, and even more powerful tools for collaboration. Um, it's the point here is that we want to ensure that you and your organization are going to be comfortable with this business transformation. Um, Again, it's not a fast process, but then again, it shouldn't be. And then after that, we will accelerate your advancement into 3D experience, so that you can take full advantage of the platform and everything that it has to offer. So again, breaking this down a little further, get connected. This will utilize the PCS on cloud license, that is the base access that you will need to access 3D experience in any capacity, along with a role called UE5 or Collaborative Designer for CATIA V5. This will act as the bridge between your legacy V5 data and 3D Experience Cloud, and it's what will allow you to begin to store and manage this data in the cloud. So the some of the capabilities of that the cloud data management will offer over a standard V5 working space or even a legacy system such as Smart Team, which some of you may be familiar with. Um, our dashboards, that's one of the big ones that we offer. It'll give your team full visibility into the design progress and activities of the rest of the team. So, and then the next one is there are a lot of social and collaboration tools built into us. Most of us have some form of social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Um, 3D Experience has its own social tools built in so that you can communicate through the platform via the platform rather than other means by email or handwritten notes or a phone call. And all that data is tracked and linked to what you're working on. So again, there's no risk of miscommunications or anything based on a lost email, a missed email, something like that. So that's very, very powerful. And then as you continue your journey, task and workflow management. Um, the platform does have very powerful tools for tracking tasks, assigning tasks to individuals, and making sure those tasks are completed on time. So all of that results in faster decision making and fewer delays. So why does integration with CATIA V5 to the cloud matter? So not only does the platform assist you in your design process, but also from a product structure management standpoint. Instead of managing data through separate folders, whether it's with assembly files and multiple cat products, all of that data resides in a single place. Again, you have enterprise-wide secure collaboration. So all your data is in one central spot that everybody has visibility to. So there's no risk of miscommunication. And then it's also integrated lifecycle management. Um, so there's always some sort of revision control, lifecycle control that you have to perform on these files, whether it's CAD data or even something like documents. The platform can handle all of that for you. So once again, that ensures everybody is always working with the latest and greatest. Um, the data model that the platform utilizes and will apply on top of the V5 allows for very advanced search capabilities. So you're never going to have any trouble finding the data that you need. You can search. Gusto calls it the 6W tags: who, what, where, why, when, and how. Um, you can search any file in the database by any of these criteria. So if all you have is a date range, you can filter every object in your database by that date range to find what you need. It's very easy to search and locate data. So and lastly, we talked about it a little bit already, tasks and change management. So the task management is available no matter what. You can assign different tasks and track different tasks to various users. Hey, go update this part and change this one feature. Um, and then as you progress in your journey, you can roll in even change management with that and tie a change action or a change order to that task. And we'll look at that a little later on. So again, talking again, just some of the summary of each of those points here. Um, with the addition on this slide of 3D Play. So the 3D Experience platform can be launched either from a desktop application or a web browser. And 3D Play will allow anyone with platform access to pull up a model, visualize a model, roll it around, regardless of their computer. It'll work on smart devices, maybe your company phone or a company iPad, something that's out on the shop floor. Anyone with access is able to pull these items up, look at them, and perform some basic measuring and other tasks with these items. And again, that's all from the web browser. It is independent of any sort of engineering computer or engineering criteria. You don't have to have a supercomputer to view this CAD like you do in some instances. So integrating CATIA V5 with the 3D experience, here we're going to actually break down the process of what this kind of looks like. So you're going to open your CATIA V5, and within that, you will see, if you have the collaborative designer license, a 3D experience toolbar within the CATIA V5 environment. Um, so you don't have to completely change your working environment to utilize all these tools. That's a concern that a lot of people have is, well, if I switch to this other system, can I still work from V5? And the answer is yes. All of these 3D experience tasks, like check in, check out, revision control, um, all of that can be performed from CATIA V5. So that allows you to fully leverage the capabilities of the platform from a familiar environment. So you don't have to jump through multiple softwares and multiple windows to perform these tasks. And here's an example of what that kind of looks like. You get that 3D experience toolbar up at the top. You can open and save data directly in the platform. Um, Reserve or unreserve access to the data. That's the check-in, check-out verbiage, and even insert components, working within your CAD session just how you normally would. The difference being that data is then maintained and saved in the cloud platform. So here we can see our menu, reserve, refresh file status. All your 3D experience tools are here in the V5 environment. So within the product structure app, all we're seeing here is that you can open your V5 assembly in the web browser. So what we're seeing on the right down here is the 3D Play. And the important thing to note is we're working with the same data. There's no gaps in the data. It is the same identical V5 data as saved in V5, just managed by this platform. And as you progress in your journey, we talked about potential workflow changes If your organization grows to the point that that is required, you can start change actions, change orders, and perform all your change management tasks from the V5 environment as well. All you will have to do is from the 3D experience window, select a change action when you open the part. And you will begin all the work that is done, all the changes that are made will be captured under that change action and then fed back to the system, fed back to the cloud platform. So again, 100% visibility, 100% traceability on the work that's being performed. And this paired with collaborative tasks gives you, the most control over your data with the least amount of headache possible. And I believe next we have a video that kind of just walks through this process. I'm going to share that now. And if the audio for this does not work, Manuel, will you please let me know in the chat and then we can try to troubleshoot that. I'm not hearing any audio. Let me pause the video. This leads to an elimination of duplicate work. You can see all your existing parts, all your reusing components, drastically reducing your design time, and it allows for much clearer project tracking. As again, especially managers and engineering approvers have visibility on all of this data without the need for additional meetings or emails. So this is a real world customer success story in PC Design Works. They specialize in advanced engineering and product development and work across industries, providing high level or high precision designs and innovative solutions. So their main challenge was they had an increasing number of projects requiring shorter and shorter development cycles. So they needed a way to centrally manage all of this engineering data and improve their reuse of knowledge while maintaining their product standards. So an after 3D experience with CATIA V5, this allowed them to maintain their same CATIA V5 workflows while improving the team collaboration, enabled real-time design and reviews and approvals, centralized all their product data into a single location and a single platform, and it improved supplier collaboration with their existing partners as they also had access, controlled access to the relevant data that they needed in their platform. So all of this effort resulted in faster product design, centralized data management, and improved efficiency. So they were able to reduce their time to market while maintaining their product quality. So they said, through the experience on the cloud allows us to design and manage all of our data in a single platform, leveraging our knowledge to deliver quality products. And that was from their CEO. And that brings us to the Q&A portion. So let's look in the chat. So yes, we have your contact info from the registration. We will find a way to share that video.
All right. It seems like we have a couple of more questions here at the chat. Um, so the first one is, in past experiences, how much does B5, those existing B5 workflows change as you integrate the platform?
So to answer that, it's as much or as little as you want. As we kind of talked about, um, you don't have to utilize all of those workflow changes such as change action and change management straight out of the gate. A lot of customers start out using 3D Experience Cloud purely as a vault, a little bit of revision control, and then expand as their comfort in the platform grows or as their needs grow. So,
All right.
anything else, Manuel?
Thank you. Yeah, here's another question. Are you able to send the record to this webinar? Absolutely. We're going to be sending the recording so you can watch it on demand later. And there is one last question here. Does ITAR compliance with CATIA V5 with cloud services?
Very good question. The DS public cloud is not ITAR compliant yet, but there is right around the corner. I think it's due to be delivered this year. Uh, DS will have a US based ITAR compliant cloud that will meet all the requirements to store ITAR controlled data. Um, and if that's something you're interested in, we can follow up on that as well with more information.
All right, thank you. Seems like we don't have no more questions here. So yeah, thanks you all for joining us today in this part 2 of our series. We hope this session was helpful, and if you have more questions, feel free to reach out. As I said before, we're gonna be sending this recording later, so you can watch this webinar on demand. And a big thank you to Nick and all of you for attending, and see you in the next webinar. Thank you.